So the first thing I want to talk about today is I got an email a week ago from a gal, and she asked, what should we be doing differently right now in our homes and using topically and with our bodies that is different than what we usually do? And the answer is continue to do what you always do during this time of the year. Like during this time of the year, like the CDC, I just looked on their website yesterday, has estimated since October 1st, 2019 to March 14th, 2020, between 30 and 60,000 people have died from the flu. And like that happens every single year. So nothing has changed. And we prepare ourselves the same way every year. So with this new threat that's out there, we don't have to change what we're doing. We just have to continue to do what we always do to prepare ourselves. So like obviously On Guard on a daily basis, multiple times a day, diffuse it in your home. Anything with clove in it, because clove is one of the most powerful oils against these types of threats. And then in the diffuser right now, I just made the video. Did you ever watch the video?
Yes, of
You
course
did?
I did.
You watched the video?
Yes.
Good job. You answer all the
I
questions.
watch all your videos.
In the diffuser right now, we're diffusing frankincense, Siberian fir, eucalyptus, cardamom, and rosemary, specific and for a really specific purpose. Bornyl acetate is in Siberian fir and rosemary. Bornyl acetate calms an agitated nervous system. So like always being around each other, like we're used to it, so we love it. We get irritated with each other once in a while.
Yeah.
But like anybody, but for people that become really stressed out, being at home with tons of kids running around and trying to figure out activities, like you get high cortisol levels and you get stressed out and your nervous system starts to ramp up. Your immune system starts to drop. So one of the easiest ways to calm an agitated nervous system is to be diffusing Siberian fir and rosemary. And the aromas are incredible.
It smells so good.
And then eucalyptus and cardamom, because of the molecule 1,8-cineol or eucalyptol. And that molecule specifically supports respiratory health and clear breathing. So this is a respiratory threat that we're dealing with, and we want clear breathing. That's an easy way to do it. And then frankincense, because of the alpha-pinene, the feel-good molecule. And then also beta-alanine, which beta-alanine is a molecule that supports cellular health and cellular communication, which is really important when you're dealing with an immune threat. So the combination of these 5 oils in the diffuser smells amazing, and it has tremendous health benefits as well.
Yeah, I guess like that answer to me would be like, we're not doing anything different. However, I would recommend increasing the amount of On Guard you're using. Not the amount so much, but the frequency of how often you're using it. Like on a daily, we use it at least once a day, no matter what, all the time, threat, no threat. That's just what it is. I have been increasing the amount or how often we apply it. Bottoms of Mila's feet, almost every time I change her diaper, it's there. I see it. Ooh, she needs On Guard. Put it on her. Myself, every time I put it on Mila, I put it on myself, put it on the other kids. We're taking our supplements. We're eating the same. We're, doing the things. We're exercising. We're staying active. We're doing the things that help support and keep our immune system up. So, you all should be doing this on a daily. So you're right. There's nothing that we've done any extra.
And I guess that's not everybody's like that, because we're in the healthcare industry. And I was a chiropractor for 7 years, of course. So like our lifestyle is we're constantly focused on our health, from what we eat to the supplements to how we exercise to how we think. How we approach our spiritual life, how we approach each other. So we're constantly we're always focusing. But if this is a threat, just like the flu is, that will take you out if you're immunocompromised. And if you're one of those people, then this should really be a wake-up call, because this is the first time in our lifetime, first time in probably most people's lifetimes, that they're like, stay at home, don't go anywhere, unless you need to go to the grocery store or something, or the doctor. But this should really be a wake-up call for people to start to really transform and focus on their health and really change some lifestyle behaviors that have become habitual, And a lot of them are probably very negative.
Right. I was just gonna say it's a lifestyle. And if you're not in it, this is your time, this is your chance, this is your opportunity. Like, I feel like God has just paused everybody, you know, and stopped us dead in our tracks to really realize like what we're doing to our bodies, what we're doing to the earth, the environment. And I have like shifted the way that I'm thinking about this. Like, I got sucked into the fear multiple times. Like, you had to talk me off the ledge a couple times, let's to be honest with you.
You get on the phone with certain people in your life, and they're telling you everything that's going on in the news, what states are shutting down, how many people are dying, how many people are, and it's like,
you know, it's great though, because I don't watch the news. I would not, and I'm not taking this lightly at all, so please nobody take this the wrong way. I would not know that there was coronavirus that even existed. Like, I don't pay attention to the news. I don't watch it. Everything is so negative about it. I like my bubble. I don't want my bubble popped. I like my bubble. So I did. I got sucked into the fear of it. Like, oh my gosh, like what if I get this? Like, what if Mila gets this? Like, what's going on? Like, what would we do? Would we go to the hospital? Would we not? Like, what do you even do? You know?
And you, like, in real life, outside of this, you live in like 1 square mile. You don't venture out of 1 square mile very often because your studio is a couple blocks from here. The grocery store is pretty
The
close.
school's right there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't. So, like, this change for me isn't much of a change. Like, I'm comfortable being quarantined, self-quarantined in my home, you know? But the fear that was trying to knock on my door and get inside and get in my head and mess with, you know, this peace that I like to have, it was a faith check for me. You know, like I had to go back and be like, okay, you know, God's already won this battle. Like, God has this. Like, I cannot be fearful and have faith at the same time. It doesn't exist. Those words like aren't together. They're opposing magnets. So for me, I'd rather have the faith. I'd rather keep the faith. I'd rather, you know, dive down and read my Bible and listen to positive things like, you know, battle ready and all these positive things in the world, not so much of the negativity and the fear of what this threat can actually do. And then it's all around us, and just have faith that this too shall pass. Like, the only thing we can ever depend on in life is change. It's inevitable. It's happening. You know, we're in the midst of change right now. And if you can see past the negativity of what's going on and the actual threats, and just like, there's less pollution happening in the earth right now. Everybody's at home, hopefully restoring their relationship with their husband, their spouse, their kids. They're loving on them when they're not able to do that, when they're working all the time. The kids are in school, you're running around, you're doing this, you're not cooking home meals. Like, this should be such a time to reconnect and get back what we lost. And this is like God's time out, and take it and hold on to it, because guess what? It's gonna change and be over, and you're gonna be back to your crazy life. And I bet there's gonna be some of you that want to be quarantined again.
And so many people pray for more time with their family. Like, that's what they want. And this is it. Like, how are you gonna use this time effectively to connect with your kids, to reconnect for a lot of people with their spouse, and really get back on the right track. But this, about the Bible, how many times does God say fear not in the Bible? 365 times.
Do not fear.
There's a version of do not fear. So it's pretty important. Like, when we were going through the heart thing, 2 Chronicles 20. Yeah. 2 Chronicles 20 was the verse that it's not a verse, it's a chapter. It's a chapter in the Bible. Was really what I held on to, because again, like this, with the coronavirus, this is something that is like, you and I, people around us, maybe somebody is responsible. Somebody's of course is responsible for it. But the vast 99.9% of people they're not responsible for this. So it's really not our battle to fight. It's God's battle. We have to face it, but it's not our battle to fight.
Right. I mean, my favorite Bible verse, Exodus 14:14. And we're like in it, right? It's the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. How much more still can we get being here?
There's so many places in the Bible where things occur, things happen in life. Like so many times in the life of David, he screwed up and messed up big time. And the only one that could get him out of it was God. And God always shows up. But most of the time, we just have to chill out, relax, calm down, and watch him do his work. And this is really one of those times. And it's a matter of faith or fear. These two things, faith and fear, are mutually exclusive, meaning they cannot exist at the same time because you either have faith or you have fear. And so many people live in fear. Like, just look at the toilet paper debacle. They're scared that they're not going to have enough toilet paper, so they go hoard it all. There's enough for everybody. There's enough food for everybody. There's enough toilet paper, paper towels. There's enough for everybody because there always is, as long as you just go purchase what you require for your home for the next little bit. Like, we don't have to stock. It's just an amazing thing with human behavior that we're seeing right now.
I'm why toilet paper? I don't get it. Like, I don't understand it. Like, why not water? Like, bottled water? All right, that's besides the point. We'll leave that one alone.
Mm-hmm. So it's really interesting what is happening with us as humans right now, seeing this going on. And I think we're past that hoarding stage, and now we can get back to just getting what you require.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of character shows through during these trials and hard times, you know? It's interesting I get caught up in, like, you know, seeing all the articles on Facebook, and I don't want to make this political whatsoever, but, you know, pointing the finger at one person or just being mean. Like, nothing good is going to come out of being mean and hurtful and saying hurtful words and attacking people and trolling on Facebook posts. Like, just, I don't know. It's just like, this should be a time of ultimate peace and a time of just like being extra kind to people, because so many people are struggling. So many businesses might not survive this. And it's like, I don't know, the mean streak in people that is coming out has really just, I don't know. I don't even know how to,
It's based on fear, because when you're living in fear, when you're living in scarcity, you operate differently than when you're living in faith. When you're living in faith, you're calm, you can process, you can use your deductive reasoning and view a situation, step back and analyze it and figure out your next steps. When you're living in fear, it's just react mode, emergency mode. And the people that are reacting that way, negatively, pointing fingers, trolling, making mean comments, those are the people that are living in fear. They're not living in faith.
You redirect your energy. You know, like I'm still practicing yoga. I'm still teaching yoga. We're still doing online videos for people. And, you know, we work out every day together and encourage each other.
Yeah, like sitting behind you on the Peloton.
Yeah, he watches me on the Peloton. You know, ride the bike. Let's do a quick workout. Let's get weights. Let's in this. Like, you know, you do things. I'm going to tell you what, though. I have never seen more people walking their dogs and walking down the streets as a family in front of our house. We lived here for almost 5 years, right? 5 years. I've never seen some of these people. I've never seen them. I'm like, yes. But you should be doing this all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, we are dog walkers. We walk our dogs. We go outside. You force me sometimes if it's cold. I'm not a cold weather person, but you know, like, it's great to see that. At least it's great to see families coming together and getting fresh air, you know, doing that kind of thing. So, do you want to know what I was thinking?
What?
Since, like, there's this 2-week hold period, right?
I never know what you're thinking.
I know. I think you should sometimes, though.
Well, most of the time when you communicate something, you say like the first 3 sentences in your brain, and then I get like the last 8 words.
And then I'm like, how do you not know what I'm talking
Exactly.
about?
I'm like, start from the beginning with what you thought in your head, and then.
Okay, fine. Do you know where my head was going? Like, when I heard like 2 weeks, and I'm like, oh, what a great time for people to transition to a natural deodorant. Like, there's a 2-week detox period where you detox literally through your armpits. And it's, for some of us, it's not going to smell nice. It's not going to be cool. Like, you're going to want to go back to toxic deodorant. Don't do it. You have 2 weeks of being home. Like, do it. Amazon and natural deodorant. Order one from, your favorite health food store. Make it. We make our own deodorant. Like, this is your chance to like free your body, rid your body of heavy, heavy toxins. And it's one simple thing you can do to kickstart this different lifestyle that you should be in anyway.
Not to get into like talking about vaccines, but it's also health related, so it's important. And vaccines also contain a ton of aluminum and mercury. Now they're just putting more aluminum than mercury as one of the preservatives and how it works with your immune system. But with mercury, the safe amount of mercury in water is like 2 parts per billion. The amount, and that's the EPA. If it's more than that, water is toxic. You shouldn't drink it. 2 parts per billion. In a typical vaccine, it's 50,000 parts per billion.
That's just insane.
So if there's 2 parts per billion in water, you can't drink it. You should not drink it. In a vaccine that you put directly in your bloodstream, it's 50,000 parts per billion. So it's just unbelievable. But going back to aluminum is very high levels in vaccines. Aluminum is in high levels in conventional deodorants. So the combination of the two, that's where most people get their highest source of heavy metals is vaccines and deodorants. And those things go right to our brain and destroy the brain tissue.
So, if people start doing this, right? Cilantro, isn't that a big, metal detoxifier?
Yeah, cilantro supports heavy metal detox.
Right.
Yeah, cilantro.
Like, start using cilantro on a regular. If you're doing this process, like, speed up the detox process, right?
Yeah, there's for sure oils to use to detoxify your body. Like cilantro is one of the best ones. Juniper berry is another one. Geranium is another. And we can use these oils. We have a whole detox protocol that you can follow. But detoxing is very important. Like citrus oils stimulate glutathione production that detoxify everything in our body. Glutathione is the number one detoxifying chemical in our body. Our liver makes it. It's 5,000 times stronger than vitamin C as an antioxidant. So we want to be doing these things. So yes, getting back to the point, if you're not using natural deodorant, do it. Start now, because you can stink up your home for the next 2 weeks as your clogs are clearing, as your pores are clearing out, your lymphatics are draining, and then once you start using the natural deodorant, you'll be doing great.
Smelling awesome.
Ready
for the world.
Yeah.
And like, what a better time to start using your oils? Like, I mean, if you have oils that you haven't used yet, you don't know anything about them, like, watch our videos that we've done, the A to Z series. Like, go back. There's so much time on our hands, right? And like, we don't know what to do with ourselves half the time. Watch the videos, like, learn something new about these oils, get them out, experience with them, smell them, make different recipes, combinations, start diffusing different things that you normally just have a routine of doing the same stuff.
Yeah, I just created the webinar.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I'll put the link on this video in the description. But if you haven't watched the webinar, like, watch the webinar. We go through it. The top 10 oils, how to use them, what the benefits are. And so if you're new to following my oil lab, then this is a great resource for people to dive into.
Yeah, learn something. Fill your brain, fill your hearts, fill your body, your spiritual, mental, physical, with like the most positive, empowering things you possibly can during this time. And like, just set fear aside.
Yeah, faith, not fear.
Faith, not fear.
They're mutually exclusive. You can't have one. You can't have them both at the same time. You have to choose. So before we go, 2 things. First thing is, let's go through the 10 things to do daily, or at least weekly, as you're sitting at home with the shelter-in-place order. So you start with number 1.
Read your Bible.
Get adjusted.
Put your oils on.
Exercise.
Eat healthy.
Take your supplements.
Drink more water than you ever do.
Read a book.
Go for a walk.
Play games with your kids.
Ooh. Pay attention to your kids.
How many is that?
9, I think.
9? Pray.
Amen.
And I don't know if you noticed Megan's little shirt there.
I was just gonna say, tie-dye. Go, okay. I know, he hates it. I have become a little obsessed with tie-dyeing our clothes. So my daughter, Taylor's home from college, and she's like, Mom, let's tie-dye stuff. I'm like, yeah, let's totally do it. So we got sweatpants, sweatshirts, I mean like stuff that we have in the house, and bleach. And we've been like, he hates it. He's like, it smells like bleach. I'm like, it's fine, open up the windows. But we've been tie-dyeing like sweatshirts and t-shirts and like anything of any of his clothes that have stains on them. We've just been like, repurposing. It's fun.